Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of December 2nd through December 6th. We're in part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks in our bullpen, stocks in our shopping list, and we'll also talk about how we can use dividend payers and several option strategies to also generate income while we wait for our top swing trading stocks to set up. So let's get started. Welcome again, Money Mitch. Thank you for joining us. RT, the Crow, thank you all for joining us in the chat today. Hope that you are having a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Welcome, Gerald Fitz. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for December 2nd through December 6th. We keep our notes for our weekly trading game plans in publicly accessible Google documents. Our notes documents contain links to bonus videos, to the tools and resources we use to trade our top swing trading stocks to watch, etc. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this trading week, titled Cyber Monday Sales on Stocks, we would highly recommend you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, trading strategies, trade ideas for this trading week. We keep all of our notes, Google documents for our weekly trading game plans in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes for part 1 as well as previous weekly trading game plan notes, and you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. So firstly, we'll go over, we don't really have any new trade updates for this week. And again, although I don't recommend anyone blindly follow us into or out of trades, if you would like to be notified when we enter or exit a trade, if that would help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, you can get real-time alerts when we enter or exit a trade by joining our Patreon. We also have several channels in our Discord that I'll show you in a second, available to our Patreon members with additional alerts that may also assist you in making money trading. If you'd like to learn more about how you can best use our trade alerts to make money trading, you can access this video on how can you best use trade alerts via the link in our notes. So again, we also have several other channels available to our Patreon members in our in our Discord. The first is the Thinkorswim TOS alerts channel. I also have additional price alerts set up in Thinkorswim. When those get triggered, they get automatically posted to the Thinkorswim alerts channel. So we can see when recently IWM broke its 3-year high. That got alerted in our Thinkorswim alerts channel. Also when SLP broke its 52-week low. If I do follow one of those up with an actual trade, then I will reply to that alert in the Thinkorswim channel with our actual entry or exit position. If it's a trade not directly related to a Thinkorswim trade alert, then we'll post that in the trade alerts channel, like when we got assigned the cash secured puts we had sold on end phase. We also have an alerts channel with real-time alerts generated by our automated systems when stocks are moving up, breaking out, near price targets, etc. And you can get more information about how to get alerted in real time when stocks are moving up, breaking out, etc. via the link to that video in our notes. So we also have this alerts channel, again, generated by our automated system. So we can see when BTI, so when the broad market was breaking out, moving up. You see TECL, so broad technology breaking out. So again, another great way to see trends in the market, reversals in sentiment, sector rotations, etc. So again, another great resource for short-term day traders, scalpers, etc. So again, you can get access to all those types of alerts for whatever style of trading fits your style the best by joining our Patreon. Welcome, Kaitan. Thank you for joining us. Ricky Khan, if I missed you earlier. Hope you all are doing well. Having a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend. I'm gonna grab a quick drink and we'll go over our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. Go over a quick update to our watch list, and then also look at those in our watch list Google Sheet and also in Webull. So again, here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. Again, we've been watching SARK, which is the short on ARK-K, looking for it to retest its 52-week high. You'll see it looked like it was almost going to do that on Friday, didn't quite reach that 52-week high again. If ARK-K retests its 52-week high, we would look to short ARK-K with SARK. Again, SARK is a 2x leveraged inverse on ARK-K. Again, we've talked about our thesis that we think, a lot of these money losers in ARK-K may be susceptible to tax loss harvesting, particularly in December. So we like that thesis on shorting ARK-K. Just a quick note that SARK did a 1-for-3 reverse split on 11/27. Not atypical for a lot of these leveraged ETFs to reverse split when they get to be a low price. So again, doesn't really affect stock offerings or things like that. But again, you'll see an adjustment in the price in SARK. Also, we've been looking to possibly short the IWM or small caps using SRTY. We watch for a top or resistance in IWM. Again, we just saw in our alerts channel, it recently broke that 3-year high at about 244.46. So we're looking for another retest of that high and looking for an opportunity to short the IWM with SRTY. You could also compare that or use TZA to short small caps, and we did a comparison and a decomposition of SRTY versus TZA, and you can reference that previous discussion via the link in the notes. So we can now watch those in our watch list Google Sheet. Again, you can get 24/7 access also to our watch list Google Sheet. Contains our top swing trading stock to watch list, our bullpen, our shopping list stock, number of screeners, sectors, so you can watch sector rotation, etc. And you can get access to all of that by joining our Patreon. And we have a whole series of videos on how to watch our top swing trading stocks to watch, how to use our watch list Google Sheet. We've recently added the PE and the ATR, average true range, to also help you select the stocks you would prefer to trade, set your stops, and we discussed how you can use our buy at support levels, sell at price targets, also to determine your entries and exits into our top swing trading stocks to watch. So you can access all those videos via the bonus links in the notes. And if we quickly look at our top swing trading stocks to watch, again, we've got SARK and SRTY. So you can see where our support and resistance levels are, risk reward profiles. So, they've been making recent lows as those ARK-K and IWM have hit new 52-week highs recently. See dividend information, optionality information, the average true range, etc., and quick links to their profiles. So if we also look at those in Webull, so there's our top swing trading stocks to watch. We can look at ARK-K. So again, we can see where it hit its recent 52-week high. Again, I thought Friday we might get a retest of that. Didn't quite make it up there. Looks like it's hovering just above that resistance level. You can see after it hit that high, we had several days of downtrend. So for a short-term swing in inverse shorting ARK-K, looks like that SARK might be attractive. Again, we'll use the top or resistance levels in ARK-K to determine entry points in SARK. So you can see there's SARK the inverse, so now it's in the 40s after that reverse split. Similarly with IWM, again, we see IWM recently broke that 3-year high. 244.98 now. Rejected off of that pretty drastically. And then it's just been oscillating. I noticed IWM is pretty choppy, so it's hard to find entries and exits. It even chops up and above and below its VWAP, which is that yellow line there. So I'm not sure if this will be a good one for me, but if you're a good nimble trader, might be good opportunities. So you can long or short IWM using long with URTY, short with SRTY. So again, you could scalp that if you're a short-term nimble trader as well. Again, using URTY long, SRTY short, or TZA short, and TNA long. So I hope that all helps. Welcome, Sydney Osborne, Alan Krantz. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you all are doing well. So let me grab another quick drink. We'll go over our bullpen stocks. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, they're still offering 40 free fractional shares of stock worth $3,000 to $3,000. If you deposit, open and fund your account with $2,000 or more, less than $2,000, you get 20 free fractional shares of stock. Also, they're still emailing me promotions for like 3.5% bonus interest on contributions to your IRA. So again, you can get your full 40 free fractional shares of stock. Any current promotions are also offering by opening and funding your account using our affiliate link in the description box below, and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. See the crows talking about Brazil. We looked at Brazil, talked about Brazil, longing Brazil a couple weeks ago. So that's a trade idea we've discussed recently. We have a number of ETFs you can use to long Brazil in our ETFs Google Sheet. So here's our bullpen stocks. Our concept of our bullpen stocks are stocks that might not have the setup for our top swing trading stocks to watch list, but I've identified they may in the near future. So we put them in the bullpen, periodically revisit them. If their setup improves and we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list. If they run away or break down, then we just take them out of the bullpen and we can revisit them again in the future. And yeah, one of the ETFs we have in our ETF Google Sheet to short Brazil's BZQ. We also again have several to long, BRZU, etc. There's also several others in our ETFs Google Sheet. So if that's a trade idea you want to pursue, you can find an ETF that fits your trading style, risk reward profile, etc. in our ETFs Google Sheet that we reviewed yesterday as well. So firstly, in our bullpen, we've been watching AEHR for a while, AEHR Test Systems. We've done several quick take due diligences on AEHR, so you can listen to our thesis behind AEHR via the links to the videos in our notes. One I want to spend a little bit of time right now on is BDRY. I mentioned this yesterday. We saw in our ETFs Google Sheet that the risk reward profile was showing green, showing positive in our ETFs Google Sheet. So again, we looked at that briefly yesterday. I do want to jump over to our ETFs or our watch list Google Sheet and look at BDR in a little detail. This is again an ETF that's long on dry bulk shipping. So if we go to the bullpen sheet of our Google sheet, our watch list Google sheet, again, you can see all of our bullpen stocks, support and resistance price targets, buy at, sell at, risk reward profiles, dividend information, optionality, PEs and ATRs. Again, nowadays we can watch our bullpen stocks about as efficiently as our top swing trading stocks to watch using our watch list Google sheet. So if we look at the, again, you can see the risk reward profile, 52-week on BDRY is pretty attractive right now. It is optionable. Again, it's an ETF. You can see the ATR. See, it's been declining. If we look at the profile in FinViz, again, which you can access via the link from our watch list Google sheet. Again, we can see it's been in a downtrend since about March or so. It's kind of oscillating in this downwardly trending channel. So again, that's why I put it in the bullpen, waiting to see where the bottom in that is. Wanted to also look at the seasonality behind dry bulk shipping. So we can see in the past it has bottomed late November, early December, and then trended up into the spring. So again, we see a bottom late in the year in December, trending up into the beginning of the year, more so into the spring. So it looks like, in my humble opinion, I think we have a seasonality trend that we can take advantage of. So again, end of each year, nice trend up into the next year. So it looks to me, again, none of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. All of our content is for education and hopefully some entertainment purposes only. But again, in my humble opinion, I think we can take advantage of the seasonal trend we've seen. And we see BDRY still trending down, so we're just waiting for a bottom and a swing back up. Another thing to point out on BDRY is it has a pretty high expense ratio, so we don't really want to get in too early, pay that high expense ratio for too long of a time. Also, the AUM is pretty low, average volume is pretty low, so as you can see, it's pretty choppy. So it might be a little bit tricky to find entries and exits. Bid-ask spread might be a little bit wider. So we'll keep that in our bullpen. Again, you can see the composition. These are all based on various sizes of dry bulk shipping shippers. So you can see Pan Max, Capsize, etc. And different expirations, so December, January, March, etc. So there is some mixture of the prices. So again, as we saw in that seasonal trend, these later months should start trending up. Shorter months be trending down. So again, we'll wait to see when that and the fund flows. Looks like it's been a significant outflow out of the fund for some period of time. So again, all on the downtrend of this ETF. Again, it's dry bulk shipping futures, as we just saw. Benchmark portfolio includes Capsize, Panmax, Supermax, freight futures. Another thing I wanted to point out with this in terms of shipping is with the tariffs being imposed, there's a hypothesis out there that people may rush to get their imports, and therefore that may drive shipping rates up due to the imposition of tariffs early next year from Trump, and then retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. based on the countries that he puts tariffs on. So again, in my humble opinion, a possible additional catalyst that would be positive for BDRY. So I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts too on what do you think of dry bulk shipping as a seasonal trade idea going forward. Do you think again we'll get that swing back up, possibly due to seasonality and or tariffs? So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments and our Discord, etc. Okay, we've also been talking about shorting Bitcoin with BITI. We are already short Bitcoin. I got in, too early, right after the election, before the big run up to 100K. I'll look, and when we get to Webull, we'll see. It doesn't look like the spot price has retested 100K yet, but the futures have tested that a couple times. Again, you can compare that to SBIT. We've done a comparison to short Bitcoin using SBIT versus BITI. And again, I would look for a retest of that 100K if you're looking for a short on Bitcoin. HIMX, another Taiwanese semiconductor we've watched, made some good money on in the past swing trading. You can hear our thesis on HIMX via the links to the video in the notes. Land, again, a farmland REIT we've traded successfully, profitably many times over the years, and it's been trailing down. Again, they missed on earnings. We talked about a potential catalyst with them selling off some unprofitable land as a possible positive catalyst. We'll see it bopped up to about 12 or so. So we're looking for a swing back up in land. Watching SLP for a while, Simulations Plus, and a health tech type company. Seems to be pretty volatile. You can hear our thesis behind SLP via the link to the bonus video in the notes. Also, I'm adding SOXL. So as you can see, we've got kind of a semiconductor theme going on. We've got AEHR, we've got HIMX, we've got SOXL. Semiconductors, as we saw yesterday, also been kind of trailing down lately. We'll see. It looks like it might be approaching a support level. So I've got a couple strategies to possibly play long semiconductors using SOXL. So again, we'll also look at the puts for SOXL and our puts ROIC Google Sheet in a few minutes. Watching Shutterstock. Again, we had a nice profitable swing trade on Shutterstock recently. It bounced up. We'll see if it'll come back down and give us another opportunity to swing trade Shutterstock. And again, you can hear my thesis behind Shutterstock via the link to the video in the notes. Taking TMF out of the bullpen. Again, we saw TLT swung back up. So again, congratulations to any of our BeachBum traders who caught that swing in bond prices, be it with TMF or any of the or TLT or any of the other bond price ETFs that we have. Again, we have a number of ETFs to trade different durations and different directions of bonds in our ETFs Google Sheet. And you can see a discussion of that, hear a discussion of that via the link to the video in our notes. So again, you can follow all of our bullpen stocks. I've been tempted to move some of these up to our top swing trading stocks to watch, but rather than move them back and forth, we can just watch them in our bullpen. Again, I could trade directly off of our bullpen stocks just as easily. And again, you can watch these just as easily using our watch list Google Sheet using the bullpen tab. If we look at those charts in Webull, and it's easy to quickly jump over between watch lists. You can have all kinds of different watch lists in Webull. Look at the charts. Again, AEHR, we zoom out a little bit. See it's kind of oscillating around that support level. Previous low was 983. It's been trending back down a little bit. So we'll see if we can get an entry in AEHR. And sentiment semiconductors in general has been somewhat negative, not a whole lot of catalysts. NVIDIA's already reported. AMD, MU also trending down. Talked about BDRY, so you can see that recent downtrend. See if that current support holds, if it swings back up, or again, if it continues to trend down. We'll wait for it to swing back up and then try to catch that upswing again with that seasonality trend and potential catalyst going into next year. Again, BITI is the short on crypto, on Bitcoin futures specifically. So I wanted to also show you, I've got a crypto watch list, and we can look at the current spot price of Bitcoin. So you can see I've got a cryptos watch list also in Webull. So if we want to see the current spot price of Bitcoin, we can watch that. We can see the most recent high, 99795. So the spot price hasn't quite hit over 100,000. But again, BITI is based on the futures, and the futures have broken 100,000 a couple times. So you might want to wait again for that retest of the 100K or a trend in the futures as an entry point BITI. They also just announced they're going to do I think it's a point about 3-cent supplemental dividend. I think it goes ex-dividend tomorrow, so you might see a couple pennies drop due to that supplemental dividend. So again, it pays about a 5% dividend, so we can get paid something while we wait. HIMX, HIMX, again, we've been watching that for a while. Again, it looks pretty stable in this low 5 area, support 1, 475 or so, or 524 or so. So we'll see if we can catch a dip. This support level's about 465. So it's been trending down too. So just looking for an opportunity, popped up a little bit. And land's been trending down. Looks like it may have stabilized right around 12. So somewhere between around that 12 area seems to be a stable area. Catch a dip. Again, we talked about a potential catalyst if they sell some underperforming property. SLP, see, it's been pretty volatile. So it bottomed, ran up, reversed, came back down to near that same level of support. So that 2686 area looks like pretty good support. See, it's pretty choppy. It ran up, hit that resistance, got rejected. So again, pretty volatile. Short-term swings look like good opportunities. Again, it's going to move somewhat with tech. Here's SOXL. So semiconductors, again, we've seen it's been generally trending down, had some bumps. But it looks like that 25-ish area looks like a pretty good support area. So as you'll see when we talk about puts, we're looking at puts, selling puts at that 25 area, and that'll give us some cushion based on the premium difference between those puts and the 25 area. See the 52-week low looks at about 23 or so. And then again, this S1, the pivot point is at 2430. So again, that looks like a pretty good support level. So 2425 looks like pretty good support. Got upside to near 70. So again, we'll watch that 25 area, 24 area as a potential entry for SOXL. Shutterstock again ran up, hit its pivot point. We'll see if that reverses, comes back down. Gives us another opportunity to enter. Looks like they just paid their dividend, quarterly dividend, 30 cents as of the 29th. Okay, I'm going to come back to these honorable mentions and see how many we can cover if we have time. And we always recommend that you have your list of shopping list stocks ready. Take up advantage of opportunities, be it irrational reactions to earnings, dips in the market. Yesterday we talked about historically the week after Thanksgiving, we might get a small dip and then a run up through the end of the year. So it might be your opportunity to take advantage of any stocks on your shopping list. And we still got rates reasonably high, so and higher for longer. We'll know more when we get the Fed interest rate decision in December, also get their SEP. Um, but in addition to the debt load of zombie stocks, zombie companies, there are also the vulnerability of early tax loss harvesting or tax loss selling. Again, now through the end of the year, your big losers for the year are going to be potentially vulnerable for more downside due to tax loss harvesting, tax loss selling. And if you're not familiar with tax loss harvesting and how that works and what the wash sale rule is, so they can't rebuy those same stocks within the 30-day wash sale window. And again, now through the end of the year, we're definitely within that window. Also, money managers wanting to get big losers off their holdings. So again, if you're not familiar with these concepts, you can learn more via the links to these videos in the notes. Also, if you're concerned about a stock's solvency or if they're at risk of an offering, reverse split, etc., be it a biotech stock or just any money-losing stock, you can calculate their quarter's cash flow positive using our biotech due diligence Google Sheet. And we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our biotech's due diligence Google Sheet and how to trade biotechs, etc. Via the link in the notes. Welcome, Fairchild, Hamster One. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully, if you caught that TLT swing with TMF or TLT, congratulations on that. Again, now you can also watch our shop list stocks via the link, shop list link in our watch list Google Sheet. As you just saw, you can sort, filter, etc. within our watch list Google Sheet. So support, filter by or sort by risk reward profiles, prices, etc., dividends, etc. So you can see the land's pretty attractive. We've also got some of the yield maxes, APOY, TSOY. We also watch USOY for oil. If we do get a dip in oil, I would definitely be interested in a chunk of USOY. Talked about using wheat, swing wheat. Saw wheat was coming down a little bit. See if we retest its recent lows, and then we would long wheat using WEAT. Watch uranium. Again, uranium had a big recovery. Some other REITs, LTC, STAG, etc. Rare earths with MP, steel with MSB, etc. Okay, in addition to all of our swing trading watch lists, we can also use dividend payers to generate income while we wait for our swing trading stocks to set up or to swing back up. And we use our dividend payers Google Sheet to identify a income schedule using dividend payers with whatever yields, risk reward profile, etc. that we would like. And you can also use our dividend payers Google Sheet to create your schedule of dividend payers with whatever profile, etc., that you would like, whatever type of yield. So you can get 24/7 access to our dividend payers Google Sheet, as well as our other Google Sheets by joining our Patreon. I don't really have any new ones, changes to our dividend payers Google Sheet. So if there's anyone in the chat has a particular dividend payer you want to look at, we can take a look at those. Just throw those up in the chat, and we'll take a look at those dividend payers. I see Hamster One commenting about JEPI, like JEPI, JEPQ. Again, very popular, very attractive dividend payers on the S&P and the NASDAQ. So again, you can see the risk reward profiles, the yield profiles. So API about 7. It's got a nice net yield, good performance. JPQ 9%, better net yield. Again, you can see their risk reward right now, more risk than reward. Again, all the indices are pretty high, but again, very nice yield on those for long-term holds. Similarly, IEF and IEI on bonds. So if you're looking for bond funds, talked about the yield maxes. So pretty much every day I go back and we've got the yield maxes all at the top of the ad sheet. So you can look at the various yield maxes that we're watching. So I look at ULTY, watching AMD's been coming down. That one might get attractive. GDXY, gold. Again, gold retraced a little bit. That CONY on coin. ARC on ARC, TSOY on Tesla. So a variety of yield max, and they keep coming out with others. Thank you, Crow, for sending me the link on the yield maxes. But yeah, we're very familiar with the yield max dividend payers. And again, you can access their distribution schedule via the link in the references sheet. So again, if you want to see all of the yield maxes, they've got the covered calls, the funds of funds. It's like they've got now short Tesla, short NVIDIA. So they're coming out now with some short option income ETFs. So maybe we'll take a look at those in the future. New one, big Y, big 50 option income. So maybe some new ones we could take a look at in the future. Again, you can see when they're paying their next dividends via the distribution schedule. And again, you can access that at any time via the link in our references sheet. So again, otherwise, dividend payers, if you have any you want to take a look at in the chat, you can throw those up. You can see land just pays a small dividend. So again, we're much more interested in the price appreciation than just the dividend. MJ, which is a cannabis ETF, does pay a pretty nice dividend, but and it did bounce up a little bit. So if you're interested in, holding MJ for a while, again, we don't really know of any great catalysts until we get early next year. I think there's some seasonality that takes effect early in the year. That's positive for cannabis. So if you want to hold that, collect the dividend. It's got a quarterly dividend. It's only 6 cents or so, but the nominal yield's pretty good. You can see the performance been poor lately. It's a money-losing shipping company, so I don't really like that one. Been taking a look at that. Pfizer, and we talked about our thesis on vaccine-related stocks, so possibly, and that's been down quite a bit. So again, negative catalyst with JFK, also possibly some tax loss harvesting there. Well, that'll get adjusted automatically due to the split. Also, I keep looking at STM, looking for an opportunity there. We've talked about STM a number of times. So another semiconductor stock has been kind of trailing down. We'll see if that gives us an opportunity, but you see it's showing pretty attractive. Pays a very small dividend now. TLT, TMF, TLTW, another dividend payer on bonds. You want to long the dollar, UDN, talked about USOI, another bond, USFR, another bond fund. Okay, again, I'll leave that up and we can take a look at any others that you're interested in. Okay, we've got a whole series of videos on how you can use our dividend payers Google Sheet to create your schedule of dividend payers, and you can access that series via the links, link in the notes, find them on our channel. Let me grab a quick drink and we'll talk about option strategies as another way to generate income. Okay, Don's highlighting those bond funds. Again, you can find IEI and IEF in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. In addition to, we saw some other bond funds, so IEI and IEF, pretty stable bond funds, decent yield, only about 3%. Again, we see bonds are swinging back up, so you can see their adjusted yield, pretty attractive, 8-10%. See their risk-reward profile is pretty balanced right now. IEF looks a little bit more attractive. So again, you can find various bond funds. You can always do a find for bonds and look at the various bond funds as well in our Dividend Payers Google Sheet. In addition to dividend payers, we also use several option strategies to generate income. First of which, we sell covered calls against our positions when they're going up, buy them back when they're going down. And we have a covered calls Google Sheet that we can use to do what if analysis on various covered call strategies. We've done several videos on how you can use this covered calls Google Sheet to do what if analysis on your covered call strategies. Another thing I just want to quickly point out in our covered calls Google Sheet is recently we put a sell out. We got a sign. We're using the wheel strategy on end phase, so we sold some puts. We got assigned those puts. So it set our price, our cost basis at about 69.10. So we got assigned, and then we put a sell out at the recent high. We did a video that you can access via the link in the notes to compare various strike prices and expirations to use for our covered calls on end phase. So we chose and put that sell out at 18.10. End phase been a little volatile. It was running up, retraced a little bit on Friday. But another thing I started doing in this covered calls Google Sheet that you can also do is just watching the high price of that call for the day, putting that in there, and then I can compare. So, okay, if I sell that call now at 7, my profit would be 1,200. If I wait for it to sell at 18.10, my profit would be 2,400 per contract. So again, I can kind of make informed decisions, see if I want to wait for more premium on that call, or go ahead and sell it now, collect that premium if I think it's peaked out. So again, another way you can use our covered calls Google Sheet to make money trading your covered calls. So again, I hope that all helps. The other way we make money with options is we sell puts when stocks are going down, buy them back when they're going back up. You see our criteria for which stocks we'll consider, what the criteria is for selling puts, and we use our puts ROIC Google Sheet to look for opportunities to sell and then buy back puts. And again, you can get 24/7 access to our puts ROIC Google Sheet by joining our Patreon. So a couple updates to our puts ROIC Google Sheet for this week. Again, another strategy. I'm looking more at comparing buying shares. So we have several of these on our various watch lists, but comparing the options of either buying the shares or selling the puts, possibly getting assigned and then using the wheel strategy, again, to generate additional profit. So in addition to watching AEHR in our bullpen watch list, I also added it to the main sheet of our puts ROIC Google sheet. So I'm now watching for a put on AEHR at the $10 strike price at December right now. We'll move those up as the expirations overlap. So that's one. Also, yesterday we talked about the seasonal downtrend in volatility. UVXY is the long on volatility. So I'm watching the put at the 19 strike price for December on UVXY. Possibly, sell that put, get some premium. Again, we expect volatility to trend down towards the end of the year and then turn back up early next year. So again, another way where we wouldn't necessarily suffer the deterioration of the leveraged ETF and be able to collect some premium on any bounce in volatility. So again, another comparing the strategies of buying the shares versus selling the puts. We currently already have sold one on NEP at 1750. Just waiting to buy that one back if it gets cheap enough, or letting it expire. And I wanted to compare that also to a 16 strike. So since it had dipped below that 1750, now we can also watch the $16 strike price on NEP. And again, you can hear our thesis on NEP via the bonus links to the videos in our notes. So we'll quickly look at the other opportunities for puts in our puts ROIC Google sheet. So you can see here's the $10 strike price on AEHR. Not a whole lot of premium right now. Not a great ROIC. If we look at it, if it hits its 52-week high, it would be a 19%. So that would be pretty attractive. So if we see a steep dip in AEHR, might be a good opportunity to sell a put. But it'd have to, the premium would have to increase significantly. Again, with the VIX very low, most of these premiums are not all that great. Still got to sell out on Intel. That has, declined. So got that sell probably at 315 or so. Still got to sell out on Siri. Again, these premiums aren't very good right now. And we talked about also looking at a $25 strike price on SOXL. So I think I added that last week. See, right now it's at 130, so it's only 2%. It goes up to its 52-week high, which is where I got to sell right now at 450, so that'd be almost 14%, 13.7. So again, I've been watching these premiums during the day, and I can change that high, check the ROIC using our puts ROIC Google sheet. Here's the UVXY at 19. So you can see even right now at 137, pretty attractive ROIC, over 5%. It goes up to its 52-week high of 468, it's 22%. So again, selling puts on UVXY looks like a potentially attractive profit. Again, we expect it to decline throughout the rest of this year and then trend up into early next year. So again, this may be a strategy. I may add a sell, a 19 strike of UVXY. Let me know your thoughts on that thesis of selling puts on UVXY. Love to hear your feedback on if you think selling puts on UVXY may be a better strategy than trying to catch the bottom in the VIX futures and swinging that up. Again, we expect it to continue to decline the rest of the year. So I can't see a great opportunity in buying the shares, but selling the puts, we could generate some additional income while we wait for VIX to trend back up. Otherwise, on our research sheet, not a whole lot of others that are real attractive right now. So I mentioned we've already sold one at 1750. That one hasn't been assigned yet. I sold it at 120 or so. So the break even is about 1630. So I wanted to also see if 16 strike is attractive. If anyone else is interested selling puts on NEP, you might want to look at that 16 strike. Right now, not very attractive. It hits its 52-week high of 133. It'd be about 5.9. So you see we got about 5.7. I didn't get the top in that put, so congratulations to anyone who sold that 1750 for significantly more. You can see it peaked out at 235. Still got a sellout on SLP at 30. See, that's at about 5% right now. I've got to sell at 330. Well, again, not a lot of volume on those options, so that sell hasn't hit. But again, if you're willing to accept a little bit less, you can still get 5%. And if anyone else would like us to add any puts to our automated systems, our puts ROIC Google Sheet, let me know the tickers, the strike prices, the expirations. We can add them to our automated systems. It'll collect the options data, update our puts ROIC Google Sheet at the end of the day, and then you can take advantage of those opportunities with selling and buying back puts. Okay, let me grab a quick drink, and I want to look at STHO for Gerald Fitz, Tappy 605 sent asked this question in our Discord. So we'll look at his question in the Discord. So I was just asking if we could look at STHO, real estate, double triple bottom in the chart. So we'll take a look at that in FinViz, also in ChartMill. So let me grab a drink and we'll look at STHO. Okay, we'll look at STHO for Tappy, Gerald Fitz. So just a quick reminder, you can find links to FinViz, ChartMill, etc., all the tools and resources we frequently use in the link section of our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So here's the link to FinViz. So we'll look at STHO first in FinViz. So Star Holdings says real estate services. So he said, double bottom, triple bottom. Does look like it recently bottomed. Been in a steady downtrend for several months. Very low PE. It is optionable. It is profitable. Pretty small float. Not a lot of discrepancy. So 11 million float. So again, pretty small float. Pretty light volume. So again, as we can see, it's kind of choppy. Zoom out a little bit. Yearly performance only -8. So it looks like recently it's been as high as 16. Does look like it's touched that bottom around 10s or so, 11, high 10s, so around 11. Yeah, it does look like a multiple touch. Hasn't been around that long. Looks like 2023 or so, March of 23. See what they do. Look at their income statements. So recent quarters was negative, went positive. EPS was negative, went positive, yet it's been in a downtrend. Net income, again, very negative to positive. EPS negative to positive. So they have non-ground lease related businesses, real estate finance, operating properties, land and development. So it's not a REIT, but it's a real estate services company. See if there's any news. Doesn't look directly related to their company other than they're reporting their results. Is a US-based company, so let's look at them in ChartMill as well. So here's Star Holdings in ChartMill. So overall, TA's pretty negative, setups not bad. Valuation negative, profitability negative, health pretty negative, growth negative, so it doesn't look very good from an overview in ChartMill. Looks like they have single multifamily dwelling units, so it's, you see in ChartMill we can get some additional information. Multi-generational residential, so residential, and we saw mortgage rates, high mortgage rates have been hurting the housing business. So there is an undersupply. So if we look at their fundamentals, 3 out of 10, so not great. And pretty weak in general fundamentally. Profitability is pretty bad. And we saw they just turned a profit. It looks like the recent quarter, Altman Z is very negative, risk of bankruptcy. So that would be a warning flag, red flag to me. Debt ratio is okay, but again, their Altman Z showing very negative. Technically 0 out of 10. Setup 6 out of 10. So as you pointed out, it does look like it's recently approaching that, multiple bottom area where it has bounced in the past. So if you're looking at for that rebound, again, fundamentally risky, potential risk of bankruptcy, probably due to their debt. Again, performance has been pretty negative for this year. But if you're looking for a bounce, again, I would just be careful. Again, it did look like they're starting to turn profitable, so that might improve. But again, there's a lot of headwinds to real estate, high mortgage rates. As rates come down, that could be a tailwind, a catalyst for real estate companies. Again, they're residential, so you might want to dig into more detail on their holdings. Again, pretty small cap, pretty low volume, so it's choppy, potentially risky. But again, if you think it's going to bounce off this level again, as in the past, you could take a small shot and see if you get that bounce again. Not a whole lot of downside risk from its past, and it was very negative on their income in the past. So again, the risk reward doesn't look too bad. But again, it's the recent high is only about 15 or so. So you might have a 50% upside, but the risk looks pretty low. So Gerald, I hope that answers your question. I hope that helps. Again, if anyone else has any experience, additional information on Star Holdings, STHO, we'd love to hear your feedback. Please put it in the comments to this video or in our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join, with the exception of the few channels that are available to our Patreons only, as I pointed out. Again, you can tag us in our Discord or BeachBum Trading, all lowercase, no other characters, symbols, numbers, etc. Again, we'd love to hear your feedback on STHO, or as Gerald did, if you want us to take a look at a stock during our live streams, we'd love to hear about it in advance so we can do a little bit of preparation again in advance, and then we can cover those during our live streams or possibly do a separate video. So if I missed your question or your stock today, I apologize. Please put that in the comments to this video, or again, tag us in the Discord. We'll try to follow up on any questions, any additional stocks you want us to take a look at. Also, again, we'd love your feedback on what we can do to improve our weekly trading game plan, any of our tools or resources. What can we do to make our Google Sheets, etc., our community of more value for all of our fellow BeachBum traders? Again, we've got a suggestion box as well in our Discord. You can put suggestions. We'd love to hear your feedback on what can we do to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders. We hope that you like this content. Please do us a favor and smash the like button. Hopefully we can get the YouTube algorithm to someday show us some love and share our content with other traders. We would really appreciate your help with building our community by inviting additional traders to our live chats, to our Discord, etc., and also reposting our content on your social media sites. Let's continue to work together to build up our BeachBum trading community for the mutual benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. So thank you again to everyone in the chat that joined us, everyone watching after the fact. We hope to see you all again back next weekend, 10 a.m. at Saturdays for part 1, 10 a.m. on Sundays for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. And otherwise, we hope that you have a great rest of your Thanksgiving holiday weekend and a great trading week. Thank you again. Have a great trading week.